Hello there ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here and it's time for a new video, and as you can see by the title, it is yet another pickups video. It's been just about over a month since my last pickups video. I did say that I didn't want to saturate the channel with pickups videos all the time, so I'm now making it a monthly thing as good as, so I don't just keep, putting out material that's just purely pickups based all the time. In terms of other content on the channel, I have downloaded a few new Mega Drive emulators, 4 altogether, 2 games of which I've played, one which I think is regarded as a classic and another that I just enjoyed playing on and want to make a video on, and then we'll work it from there. I did say I'll be doing SNES games this year, but there's a lot more, on the Mega Drive that I can make videos on, and like I said, I've actually downloaded them now, so sooner rather than later, genuinely, even though I've said it a few times, the retro classics series or whatever will make a return. Obviously they're all retro, but some go in my classics series because of my favourite games, or I think they're renowned as a classic or whatnot, and others I'm just making a tiny review in my own way. If you've seen my videos in the past, you'll know what they're like. They're not too in depth, but I want a little bit of knowledge on the game itself before I put it out there. But yeah, 4 pickups today in this pickups video. I've got a PS1 game, a PS2 game, and 2 360 games. We may as well start with the oldest first. I purchased this for a £5. You should too, ladies and gentlemen. It's Road Rash on the PlayStation. One of the very first PlayStation games, actually. And by this time, I think the third Road Rash had just been released on the Mega Drive. I think it was like 1990, 1991, the first 2 Road Rash games, and they had a little bit of a gap. And then they released Road Rash 3 for the Mega Drive, and at the same time this came out, but they just called it, Road Rash on its own. The graphics are very similar to the Mega Drive version, but obviously more polished, better, blah blah blah. And on the PlayStation, to be honest, they're all still highly playable. Every single old Road Rash game is still highly playable. But this, combined with the fantastic music, the sound effects, the smashing morphos with the rattle, the baseball bat or whatever other weapons they had, moving up through the levels, improving your bike, the rivals, the cops. It was just a great fun game, and you really get that 90s feel. I absolutely love Road Rash, and for a £5, ladies and gentlemen, you can't go wrong. Purchase it. Next, another game that's regarded as a classic. I think the second game in the series is probably the best as far as I remember, and I think the series hit its peak with number 4. Sounds like I'm talking about Resident Evil there, but I'm not. I'm talking about Tony Hawk's. There he is, but in a wheelchair these days. I didn't mean a wheelchair because not saying it wrong. I didn't mean a wheelchair as in he'd had a bad fall or anything. I mean, he's old as fuck. I mean, he looks old on the front cover. That's actually what I meant. But who knows? I've not heard about him in years. Obviously, he made a lot of money off these games, so he's probably sleeping on a bed of money right now. But yeah, I mean, obviously one of the best skateboarders in the world. But I'm not going to speak too much about the sport because I have no idea. I went on a skateboard once when I was about 10 years old, fell on my ass and never went on one yet ever again, as I'm sure is the case for a lot of people out there. But in the late 90s, the early 2000s, there was that kind of era, wasn't there? Skateboarding was very popular, also rollerblading was very popular, and it was the new metal music phase, and I just remember it very well. And these kind of games and extreme sports were very much in, and now they're very much out. Well, it's the bubblegum culture we've got now. Anything that's not that isn't in. But yeah, create your own skate parks, make up your combos or whatever. It's all insane. It isn't an easy game for me. I do struggle with this. I just done the tutorial a few days ago. I'm still trying to get it in my brain. You got to press square, you got to grind on it, you got to wall it. All these words, melon. Tony love, tell me, what's a melon? It's a fruit where I come from, cock. But there we go. Still a great game, and once you go on it, get engrossed and build up the combos, it's just such good fun. Good time waster. Loved playing that back in the day, but the second one was my favourite. But I got the third one because that was the first one, the PlayStation 2. And then 2 360 games as well, both a tenner second hand. I'm not going to speak too much about these two. Sleeping Dogs and Dead Island. Sleeping Dogs, as far as I'm aware, it's a sandbox game. I've not played any of these two yet. It's a sandbox game, similar to Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto, I think. And also it says on the back, martial arts action, gunfights, brutal takedowns. Hong Kong is your playground, a mature and gritty undercover cop drama. You're playing as an undercover cop called Wei Shen. You are tasked with infiltrating and taking down a triad empire from within. Keep your cover intact and navigate between your duty to the badge and the code of honour of the triads. When you're undercover, the rules are different. Certainly sounds like my bag. So we'll see what that's like. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think I like that. And also Dead Island. I've not played Sleeping Dogs at all, but I've actually completed about 5% of this game. Reminds me very much of Dead Rising in a way. I played Dead Rising Case Zero. I purchased it with 400 Microsoft points a few weeks ago, even though I've never played Dead Rising 1 or 2. I heard all about the time limits and how they frustrate people. And I agree, it is frustrating, but at the same time, building your own weapons and mindlessly slaughtering zombies with them, you can't go too wrong with that, I feel. And doing it on a tropical island to boot, even better. There is online with this. I don't know how much of a community there is now. It is about 3 years old, this game. But like I said, you know, played 5% of it, completed 5% of it. You're just carrying out missions for random people on the island. And there's 4 different characters. Each one has a speciality of weapons. And that's why I like this game early doors. Is because you've got an Asian woman who's very good with very small knives and sharp items which you can use to stab enemies. But, you know, that's a nice quick kill, you know, stab through the chest. Yeah, you can kill them, but it's not got much force because it shows you how powerful the weapons are. So like I said, a little knife like that, very powerful, but not got a lot of force because it's not going to send any back. You've got a lot of blunt weapons. I picked the big black dude, I can't remember his name, but he is very good with blunt weapons. Big, massive pieces of 4x4 wood and whatnot, and he's chucking and lobbing it about. That's good, but at the same time, it's just sturdy, and you know, there's enemies around you. How are you going to deal with that? The best kinds of weapon, in my opinion, a baseball bat with nails in, because that you can stab them with that, but also at the same time you can send them back. The good old trusty baseball bat with nails. You can't go wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. I really am waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Oh, yes, I am. But yeah, Dead Island, both of those 360 games for a tenner. And also, I've also got Assassin's Creed 2, which Microsoft gave away as free. If you've got Xbox Live Gold membership and you haven't got Assassin's Creed 2, you can get it for free on Xbox Live. I was thinking, where's the catch? But there isn't one. But I'll tell you why they've done it. Because we all know what naughty boys and girls Microsoft were with the PS4. You know, the second-hand games shit that came out, and behind the scenes Microsoft will have been seething with all that, make no mistake. I've made my mind up already. I'm buying a PS4 for many, many reasons, and I don't need to justify them. Maybe I will in a future video, but I'm probably going to get a PS4. To be honest with you, I don't like modern day gaming that much. Mega Drive, PS1, Dreamcast, GameCube, N64, Saturn, you know, Amiga, this is all my kind of shit. But nevertheless, there's still some cracking games out there. Just don't like what the companies are doing a lot of the time. But yeah, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to stop. But thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you soon.